Hello and welcome back to the Practice Squad. I'm Jordan LaRoche, joined by Henry Standage as always. We've had a big week of NFL action as we get closer to the playoffs. But before we get into it, I want to shout out the Bottom Line and the locker room at the Bottom Line for hosting us almost every week. A little bit of a different week this week, but for us. But nevertheless, we'll this is coming to you probably Thursday night or maybe even early Friday morning. But bottom line, if you happen to be downtown, if you happen to be going to a Leafs game, this is the spot to be for pre-games, for Leafs games, Raptors games. If you're going to the Hockey Hall of Fame, stop by.
Ken Reed autographs.
He's here pretty regularly. Next to the Hall of Fame, come by, grab the wings. They're great. But Henry, week 14's come and gone. What are your thoughts on this week? And especially as we get closer to playoffs now, some teams are maybe putting themselves back into the playoff race.
Yeah. Some teams fading pretty hard, like the Seahawks, for example.
Yep.
And but it seems like we're crystallizing. I feel like there's 3 teams in the AFC, really 2 teams in the NFC. Feels like we have a pretty good sense. But the AFC especially is a really fun playoff race. So
yeah.
And there were a lot of really important matchups seeding-wise in Week 14. And it was interesting to see how everything unfolded.
Yeah, I mean, you look at a team like the Lions, who are in the playoff discussion.
Yeah,
I mean, it's pretty remarkable.
it is.
And looking at them, they are probably one of the better teams in that conference right now. But you want to start with your Miller Lite game of the week?
Yeah, this was a tough week for game of the week. It was really hard. I settled on Texans Cowboys because most drama, most theater in it. Texans took a lead early. They maintained it. They got a huge interception with about 5 minutes left in the fourth. Had the chance to put the game away. Went for it on fourth. Got stuffed. Dallas came back. And I'll give Dallas credit because those are the games that the good teams find a way.
Yep, 100%. Yeah. And I mean, not a lot of people gave Houston a ton of respect coming into this game. I don't think we did either. But Damian Pierce ran the ball really well. Mills did what he could, but
the platoon with Driscoll.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. They kept going back and forth, and I think that's for a Texans team to stay that close in the game with the amount of quarterback switches they did.
Stay weird. Just stay weird.
I guess keep the Cowboys on their toes, but I think Dallas really gave them every chance to win this game. Gave Houston every chance to win this game, and at the end of the day, they just couldn't pull it out.
Yeah. And it's so funny looking at the Texans receiving stats, the names: Chris Moore, Amari Rogers, who anyone in the league could have had 3 weeks ago. We got cut. Philip Dorsett, Rex Burkhead. It is dry out there. But
I think Burkhead's been there for a few years, but God, I mean, who? Like, I don't know I don't know much about any of those guys you just read, but back to Dallas quickly. I think there's a pretty big conversation to be had here. Specifically in the backfield. I mean, look at Tony Pollard, who's kind of been – it's been his year in Dallas, really. I mean, even when he's with Ezekiel back in the lineup, he's been putting out just remarkable games.
Red zone hero this year.
Yep, but he's a free agent at the end of the year. Zeke's logged up till 2027. What do we think Dallas does here?
I have no idea because they're paying Zeke so much.
Yeah.
And I know he's got at least one more year guaranteed, and you're putting 17, 18 million toward one back. Like, you want to give him some carries.
Yep.
But it feels like Pollard's so much more electric every week, not just once in a while, consistently.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to be happy to make Tony Pollard their feature back, though.
I mean, yeah, he's RB1 guaranteed anywhere else in the league, but no, I do think he walks at the end of the year. I just don't think Dallas it's feasible for them, and I just think it's a win-win situation if he walks.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so that was my game of the week as well.
Right.
Do you have anything else for that one?
No.
Right. And then my Jake Paul, I can't believe I'm watching this and enjoying it. I had the Chiefs and the Broncos.
Yeah,
I think everyone's kind of expected the Chiefs to kind of roll through here with Denver having the year they had. Not a lot to kind of be excited about going into Kansas City, but it was a slow start to the game. The Chiefs had a 21-zip lead at one point, and Russell Wilson Jerry Jeudy threw a fit. He just blew a gasket on the sideline. I don't remember what exactly it was about, but from that moment on, Russell Wilson was on point. He was as close as he was last year as I think we've seen him this year. Jerry Jeudy had a huge game, 3 touchdowns as well. And for Russell Wilson, you kind of have to feel bad a little bit because he did get hurt at the end of the game there.
Yeah, he did. And it was honestly a really nasty fall on his head. But, Russ did play a lot better. I was laughing at home when I think the Chiefs went up 21-0 on the pick six, where Russ throws it to a D lineman and then gets stiff-armed straight to the ground. It was like the most embarrassing play possible for a QB. But he did rebound, and they actually had a chance to win this game.
100%. And I think if he stays in that game, it could be a different story, but I mean, for a guy like Russell Wilson to have that game, that kind of comeback moment, he's playing for his legacy here, or for his season, and it's just a lost year for him. It's a bit and it kind of encapsulates everything with going on with the Broncos, who are now out of the playoffs as well.
Yeah, and just another loss. They're still the top 3 pick going to Seattle. My game was Panthers Seahawks.
Yeah.
Panthers honestly have been playing pretty well now for almost a month. So I thought this game, like Panthers on the spread, made some sense. But again, when any like subpar team comes to the 12th man, you expect maybe like a low-scoring game, even if it's tight. But it was a good game. Darnold didn't have to do too much. But the Seahawks defense, probably the worst in the league, to be honest.
Yeah.
They cannot stop the run. So Hubbard and Foreman had big games. Darnold has like actually probably better chemistry than Mayfield or Walker had with those receivers. And they actually look like a pretty capable team.
Yeah, and I mean, if we're talking about redemption arcs in the NFL this week, I mean, we had probably three of them. I think that this is one of them. This was my shooting themselves in the foot game, but Darnold did look, I mean, as cohesive as any Panthers quarterback has this season. I mean, he didn't need to do anything special, but Seattle, on the other hand, have played themselves out of the playoff spot for the moment. Giants and Commanders are taking their spots in the playoffs right now. And the Seahawks don't have a great schedule down the stretch.
They do not.
And it's looking like the end of the road for this team as well.
Yeah, but still a really encouraging year.
Yeah.
You're getting a top 5 pick from the Broncos.
And you Kenneth Walker.
You got a bunch of good young players. Woolen on D. Kenneth Walker, who's out now. But yeah, still Seahawks can hold their heads high, and who knows, maybe they can get back into it.
100%. And yeah, I don't think I did anything else for that one. It was my shooting themselves in the middle.
Stinker of the week.
Yeah.
Most game likely to take a nap too. I had the Ravens and the Steelers because this turned into a Tyler Huntley, Anthony Brown, and Mitch Trubisky quarterback duel basically, which is about as ugly as it gets. 16-14. And this on paper, I was actually really excited for this game because these teams usually have good games. It was actually a really important game. The Steelers, with a win, were fully back in the playoff race. But that kind of ends their season there. The Ravens pull out a second one without Lamar. Absolutely huge win. Probably solidifies a playoff spot, to be honest. Once you get to 9-4, they kind of just need one more win now.
Do we know what the return is on Lamar right now?
No, I think they're keeping it super under wraps. Maybe Evan would know.
It was 1 to 3 weeks. I'm not too sure. Like, they're not going to rush him back also.
Especially if they're winning.
But also Huntley had a concussion last week. I'm really hoping he plays. I'm not trying to have Anthony Brown. I don't know if you guys watched that game fully, but all he did was give the ball to Dobbins, who absolutely just ate up the Steelers' defense.
Anthony Brown, like, his play style similar to that of Lamar and
I think
Huntley?
all three of them are pretty similar. I think all three of them kind of, because that's kind of the system they run. They're obviously, everyone knows they're a big rush team. They like to run the ball. But even when he came in, he wasn't looking to pass the ball. I think we were just trying to run the clock, number one. And number two, he was just giving the ball to Dobbins, who is, I don't know what his average run per carry was, but it was pretty high. It was, I think, one of the highest he's had this season. So he looked pretty good.
Although there's that moment he broke away and he's clearly limping on like a 50-yard run.
He definitely was not. He's putting on the show like he had this extra surgery that he's like all perfectly good and healthy. But it's like he goes for that run, and normally like any other time he's going to the end zone, and he just didn't make it. So
Anthony Brown, undrafted free agent 2022, standing at 6'1".
Yeah, I really don't want him to play this week. I'm hoping Huntley's fine to go. I actually liked what I saw from him while he was in the game.
Yeah. Huntley's competent.
Yeah.
What'd you have?
All right, I had the Buccaneers and the 49ers.
Okay, I have thoughts on this.
And I mean the Brock Purdy game. I mean,
First half was exciting.
It was. I'll give you that. But again, just Tampa Bay just looks like a dead dog at this point.
Yeah.
It's getting increasingly more tough to watch. Tom Brady's done. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are done.
Well, I think they're still winning their division. Yeah,
they are. But like legacy standards, this team isn't going anywhere.
No, they're a first round exit.
And then the 49ers, you just dumped on them. Brock Purdy had a decent game. They keep winning with him. I think with the 49ers, just going to play a super safe game. Just limit his high danger throws. Give him a lot of runs. Give him a lot of outlet passes. Just keep his game really simple, and they'll find a way to win games.
The touchdown to McCaffrey was a dime.
It was.
Honestly, though, if the Bucs win the division, which they honestly probably will, just because you need to get like 8 wins in that division. If say the Lions come to the Bucs, I'd probably still take the Bucs. I can't see myself taking the Lions to win in Brady's house. Like the team could look. They lose 100-0 the week before. I'm just not taking the Lions to beat the Bucs.
No, especially in a playoff atmosphere, you can't replace the experience that a guy like Tom Brady has.
Yeah.
You want to go to your what was the next?
Shot in the foot.
Shooting themselves in the foot. What did you have?
I struggled with this one.
Yeah.
I had the Titans because it seemed to me I was playing Derrick Henry in a must-win fantasy game to get to the playoffs, and he was doing what he always does to the AFC South, where like he had like 30 fantasy points by the end of the first quarter. It's like, great, that's my season gone. Then it seemed like the Titans just kind of got away from the run, and the Jags just got super hot. Like, there's not one specific moment to point to where the Titans shot themselves in the foot. It just seemed like they kind of fell apart after they had the game kind of in cruise control early on.
Yeah, and I think with the Titans right now, especially after that game, they feel not so much as frauds. Just I don't think they're a very good football team at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, Tannehill has been serviceable for the last few years, but I think he's kind of getting to the end of his usefulness, especially in Tennessee. They need a guy. When you have a guy like Treylon Burks out there who can give you good production at this value for the next few years, you need a guy who can get him the ball consistently and with some talent back there. And I don't think Tannehill's just the guy to do it right now.
Yeah.
But overall, I think that the Titans as well, just defensively, still need to work a little bit. But again,
they're going to have a home playoff game where they a lot of people take them to be upset, I think.
Yeah.
Similar to the Bucs.
They fired their GM recently as well.
Yeah.
They're going in a new direction, and hopefully they can maybe start the retool maybe this offseason.
Mm-hmm.
And I had the Panthers Seahawks for that one, which we already spoke about. And then for the I'm ruined game of the week, I had the Raiders and the Rams.
Yeah.
You probably could have gone with the Vikings.
Nope, that was the call. No, that's a better pick. I have Vikings Lions, but I think you're right.
Yeah, and I mean the Raiders are probably done after this game, and I think it was like 62%. It was 62% of the money. Took the Raiders at -6, which didn't clear. And this, I want to talk about the game. I wanted to find a way to get this game in, so I did put it here over the Vikings and Lions. And it's a third redemption mark of the game of the week with Baker Mayfield coming in and just playing for his job. I think at this point, obviously sent out Carolina earlier on this year. He had a big game, 230 yards, a touchdown, and just led them on a couple on that game-winning drive at the end. With a really, really ragtag group of receivers. Ben Skowronek, Tutu Atwell, Van Jefferson, Malcolm Brown were his main targets. Baker, just love him or hate him, it's a cool story.
Yeah, it was a cool comeback. I got to say, like, I have no idea how the Baker thing's going to unfold. The Rams probably don't bring him back next year.
No.
So he's basically just putting stuff on tape for other teams. But Baker's such a large personality. It could be one of those things where a guy's good enough to still at least be a second string in the league, but because of the media fanfare that comes with them, like, do you really want them as the backup? Like, that's basically, we see this all the time with guys who are good enough to still be a backup, but it's just not worth the circus and all the media attention. So Baker's offseason is going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, I still have to believe he finds a job somewhere.
Yeah.
I think that game on
the
Thursday,
Argonauts.
I mean, he could light up the CFL, man.
Him versus Nathan Rourke.
I can't name 2 players on the Argos, so.
Nathan Rourke, BC Lions QB, getting some tryouts in the NFL.
I did hear that.
I haven't grinded his tape yet, but that'd be great.
It'd be cool to see. I think Bo Levy-Mitchell had one a couple of years back as well.
Right.
But what do you have for your I'm ruined?
I had the Vikings Lions. Here's the thing. I know a lot of like actual betting experts were hitting the Lions here, but me and all my friends just got sucker punched by all of this because we were like, why is the 10-2 team a 3-point underdog to the Lions? Everyone had that money. Like every non-betting sort of analytics expert, I feel like had the Vikings money line in this. So
you and I both did last week.
Yeah, certainly ruined a lot of people in my life. But Kirk Cousins at 425 yards passing.
Yeah,
Goff was incredible.
But and that Lions offense. I want to talk about the Vikings defense quickly because that's the 5th week they've given up 400 yards against. And when you're looking like that, I know Harrison Smith, but when you go into the playoffs like that, I think the defense stinks. Kirk Cousins is having a great year, but the defense just can't hold.
Justin Jefferson with the most forgettable 225-yard receiving performance ever.
And it's probably because he's had a couple of them.
Yeah.
A couple of really big games. This one's just going to go under the rug.
All right, sweet.
Evan, do you have anything else for these games?
There's definitely a few games where I think, we had a few good games this week. Obviously, the Baker Mayfield one was huge. I don't know if anybody was expecting that, really. But then the Lions-Vikings. So for me, I took the Vikings spread, alternative spread. I took plus 7.5 for them basically to lose by a touchdown. They lost by 8. So that was great. I expected Detroit to at least put up a fight, and that happened. And then obviously the Jags, I told you guys last week to stop sleeping on them. I think that those guys are maybe back to winning football. I think the Jags, they have a good enough team. And, Trevor Lawrence looks pretty good too. I think the Jags are a team. I mean, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, unfortunately. It's maybe a little late, but, in the coming years they'll definitely be good. And also Tom Brady and the Bucs, they're just a disaster at this point. They just seem really they're hardly winning games. I mean, they came back the other week against the Saints, but I just have no confidence in them at all. And people say not to doubt Brady, but at this point I can't help but do that.
I should mention Jefferson now leading the league in yards. If he does it, it'll be the 2nd year running, which only 5 guys have ever done it 2 straight years. Nobody's done it 3, so he's a real threat there. And also Brock Purdy, Brady, largest age gap between starting QBs in a game ever.
I think it might be the first time Tom was lost to a rookie in his debut as well.
Yeah.
So history being made in week 14.
Yeah, seriously. As always, a look ahead to the next week's slate of games, and it is a full schedule. We're done with bye weeks. We're into the fantasy playoffs, so some implications there for people. And we got 3 Saturday games. So
did you make fantasy playoffs?
Not in our league.
No.
I Justin Jefferson and Derrick Henry squashed that dream. I'm in one of my leagues, so
I'm last place, so
not a keeper league, unfortunately.
Thank God. Well, why don't we start with the Thursday night game? We got the Seahawks and the 49ers. It's in Seattle. The 49ers are minus 175 favorite, minus 3.5 points.
Niners for sure. Seahawks are faltering. I'm surprised this isn't 4.5, to be honest. But I guess Brock Purdy's first road game, that does matter.
100%.
And it's a really tough road atmosphere, obviously, in Seattle. Niners just have so many weapons. It looks like Debo's out, which hurts them.
It hurts them, but I don't think it hurts them really that much.
McCaffrey, Ayuk, Kittle should be able to get it done. So I'm taking Niners.
Yeah, I'm probably going 49ers there. Just light years ahead of where the Seahawks are right now.
Colts at the Vikings. Vikings -4. 2 teams that, even though the Vikings are better, remind me a lot of one another.
A little bit. The offense can be good. Defenses are questionable.
Yeah.
And I have to believe the Vikings are coming back with another statement game. Losing to Detroit last week, they're going to want to come out and just say, hey, we are a legitimate team, even though I think they're frauds. But I'm probably
first round bye is still there too.
Yeah. It's still something to play for. I'm going Vikings -4 here.
Yeah, I will too. Probably prefer the money line though. I could see it being a field goal game, but
yeah.
I
just have a little more confidence in them.
Oh, this is such a weird one.
Yeah, the beat up Baltimore Ravens are +3 underdogs to the Cleveland Browns. Deshaun in his third game looked okay last week, but even then, I
bit of a stay away.
It's probably a stay away. Yeah, it's probably a stay away. Whenever you have to think that long, it's probably just a good call. Just
gun to my head, under 38 points. That's all I do.
Yeah. And we go to Buffalo. We take on the Dolphins in division game. +275 for the Dolphins and a +7 as well.
Spread's way too big. Way too big.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a really, really close game.
And the Bills aren't that good.
And Miami, Miami's only one game ahead of New England right now in that division. They still have a lot to play for too.
Yeah, and I'm assuming it'll be similar conditions to the game versus the Jets last week, where they rely a lot on Josh Allen scrambling in those home games. So the more tape there is on that, the more you can game plan for it. So yeah, I would take Dolphins +7.
But if you take a look outside, Toronto, the weather's pretty brutal today. I would imagine Buffalo is probably
brutal.
Yeah.
My pants are soaked. I literally feel like I've just peed myself and I'm doing a podcast.
I would imagine it's probably be similar weather in Buffalo right now.
Yeah.
So I'm taking Dolphins +7.
Yeah. 3. So I guess that's the highlight of the Saturday slate. Probably watch that one.
And maybe an over. Mm-hmm. A 44.
Yeah. Not sure. Steelers at Carolina. Carolina -3 favorites to Mitch Trubisky and the Steelers. God, I got to take the Steelers here. That shouldn't be a full 3. Steelers on the spread.
Mitch?
Yeah, I know. Mitch is so bad. Mitch is so bad. He's like him and Wilson, like Zach Wilson, I think are the 2 worst quarterbacks.
Yeah, they're probably up there. Mitch has had competent years. Just for whatever reason, that's all gone out the window. But yeah, I'm probably taking Steelers to take the extra points here.
Yeah, you gotta take spread here.
We go to Chicago where they take on the division-leading Eagles. The Bears are a +340, a +9. I'm probably taking the Eagles here. I don't think the Bears can keep up with them right now. Justin Fields, I like him. It's the Eagles are just too good.
Yeah. Eagles this week. I think Giants had given them a close game before when the Giants were a little hot earlier in the year. The Eagles now, with the Tennessee game 2 weeks ago and the Giants, that offense is just cooking. It's a 9-point spread, which is a weird spread, but I'm under 10. Definitely. Eagles probably get to like 32 to 35 points.
Yeah, and I was trying to remember the name of the defensive tackle the Eagles lost a couple weeks ago.
Davis?
Yeah.
Jordan Davis?
I couldn't find if he was back or not, but that's going to be a big thing with the Bears, especially with Khalil Herbert out. They're going to be running a lot with David Montgomery. Justin Fields is going to be running a lot. Mm-hmm. Not sure what his status is, but I'm probably just,
It is so open for the Eagles to get to the Super Bowl now because I thought Niners were the best team. Niners I would still pick to make the conference championship, even with Purdy. I just think their team is amazing.
Yeah.
But wow, it could not like the thing you'd say about Hurts is, okay, he's decent, like he's good, but are you still going to take him over one of the top guys in a playoff game? All the top guys' teams stink. And the Eagles are really, really good. So,
yeah, I think that this year we're not looking so much at the quarterback. Like in the past, we're looking at Patrick Mahomes winning the Super Bowl. We're talking about Tom Brady. This Eagles team is just really, really well rounded. So are the 49ers. So, no, this could be it'll be a different playoff year for sure.
Yeah.
But I think we're both taking Eagles there.
Yeah.
We have the Chiefs and the Texans. Sleeper of the week -14, and for the Chiefs -800.
Yeah, I'm taking the platoon.
Really?
The Texans platoon.
All right.
Throws people off. Threw Dallas off for 3.5 quarters.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. So you're taking plus 14. Yeah, I'm probably.
What were the Texans what were the Chiefs last week? Like probably minus 10 against the Broncos, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll start the game up 2 touchdowns.
All right. I like the platoon. I like Dameon Pierce.
Give me the platoon.
Dameon Pierce is just a bowling ball.
They should get Texans jerseys that just say platoon on the back.
Just all the quarterbacks.
Yeah, just Mills / Driscoll.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Also, why is the spread 49.5? It's like 5 points too high.
No, I mean, look at the Texans last week. They matched up a good amount of points against Dallas's elite defense.
What'd they put up? They put up
20.
They put up 50. I guess that game put up 50.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. I can see this being a high-scoring game for sure. Cowboys at Jacksonville, plus 180 for the Jags, plus 4.5. The Jags, who looked hot last week, go up against the stifling defense. I'm not as confident as our social media guy Evan is. I think I'm going Cowboys minus 4.5.
I'm riding with Evan. All right. Here.
All right. Well,
Cowboys, I got to see it again after last week.
Okay. I respect that.
4.5 point spread. Jags, maybe it could be one of those things where the second year QB, the team ends on a high going into the third year. I could see them playing some close games to end the year.
Yeah.
When they're down 10-0, like 6 minutes in, I'm going to feel like an idiot. But
no, I don't know what to take from this game, but I am going to go with the hot hand. One of the hot hands, the Cowboys.
Okay.
We go to New Orleans where they take on the Falcons. The Falcons who...
Stay away of the week.
The Falcons need wins. They need wins. I think I'm going to take them with +4.
Yeah, me too. Just because I don't have like any sort of idea which team is better.
But Desmond Ritter's going to be in.
Right. I might take the Saints. I wasn't overwhelmed by what I saw from Desmond Ridder.
No, I wasn't either, but I'm going to go with Falcons here.
Okay. I'll take the Saints.
I like the story.
Okay, let's go, baby. Pick them. It's a great game.
The Meadowlands.
Down at the Meadowlands.
The Jets are minus 110 over the Detroit Lions.
Zero spread.
Zero spread.
Pick 'em.
The Lions, whose offense has just been on a tear the last few weeks, going up against one of the best young defenses in the NFL.
Ooh.
It has all the writings of a great game here.
Yeah, it does. It has the makings of a great game. If Mike White can play, this spread, I think, would shift like 5 points if Mike White can't play.
If he can walk.
Yeah, and he'll play through it if it's not like dangerous to him. Jets have played well the past 2 weeks. Kind of under the radar. Played well in Minnesota, played well in Buffalo. Really had opportunities to win those games. Barrios dropped a game-winning TD. Michael Carter fumbled as the Jets were mounting a comeback. This is I think we're going to learn a lot about either of these teams from this game. If the Lions are really like on that big a tear, they'll come in and they'll put up 28 points and hold us. If the Jets are really a playoff team, you got to take care of this one at home. So huge game, really good game for a neutral. I think I'm taking the Jets. I think the Jets are good. I don't think the Lions are going to go on like a 7-game win streak to end the year. Call me crazy.
No, they aren't. But this game, the teams are playing into the other team's strength. I mean, I'm more confident in the Jets' offense than I am the Lions' defense.
Yes.
So I'm going with the Jets here as well.
Let's go. Big game.
And I mean, both those teams need a win. Detroit.
It's Bill Simmons has the term "loser leaves town" game.
Yeah.
Whoever loses this game, it's over. I think.
You're probably right. You're probably right there. The Lions, if they fall, they're 4 games behind Minnesota, and then
Crikey, World Cup final into that Jets game. Oh my God.
And then the Jets. I mean, they're tied with New England right now.
Evan, Jets or Lions?
Right now, I'm honestly it's in New York.
Yeah.
That may be the only possible reason why I give them the edge. I think the Lions are good. I've been saying it even since the start of the season. Before it even started, I said that this year they're probably going to have a better year. I think last year was a not a
They
good.
lost a lot of close games.
Yeah, last year was not a good representation of how good of a football team they actually were. But going into this, I think you're right. I think that both of these teams need to win. It's one of those games. The Jets have competed with, I mean, I think also the Vikings are a little bit fraudulent, but I think the Bills are obviously contenders. But, they're right there. They're right in that game. I mean, they hardly lost that. But again, the Lions, I think, are a more dangerous home team than they are a away team. So I think I'll give it to you. I'll give you the Jets on the spread, though.
Thanks, Evan.
Yeah, no problem.
Under 44, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, under 44. 21-19 Jets.
Yeah. Okay. I can see that for sure. I don't know if I'm going to take that, but I can see it. I can see it. Denver, where they go up against the Cardinals, plus 140 for the Cardinals, plus 3. Stay away.
Yeah, these are the same team. It's the same team. It's the Spider-Man pointing meme. I guess Broncos money line. Is it Colt McCoy?
Is it Russell Wilson?
Right. Yeah. Oh my God. Broncos just because their defense is better.
Yeah.
Minus 160 money line.
Yeah.
Balls of steel if you bet this game. Another pick 'em.
Oh, the Raiders and the Patriots. No, minus 105 for the Raiders.
McDaniels Belichick game.
Ooh, a reunion. I think
Belichick, I'm pretty sure, completely owns his former coaches.
Yeah, and for that point alone, I'm taking the Patriots.
Yeah, well, the Raiders are so up and down.
Yeah.
I'd rather just take the Patriots. What would you feel better if you lost the bet? I think you'd feel better taking the Patriots than if you take the Raiders and Belichick owns McDaniels.
Yeah, I mean, Bill's gonna take this personally, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So, Patriots 100%. With the Titans and the Chargers, the Titans are a plus 135. Chargers are a minus 3. Over-unders 47.
So basically they're asking, do you think what the Chargers did last week is legit? Now, Justin Herbert played an amazing game, and they only put up 23 points.
Yeah.
And he basically played his best game. But what they did to Miami's offense was impressive. So if you think the Chargers may have found themselves in that game, you're going to take the minus 3. If you think the Titans, they're usually pretty good against these teams that are talented but not that well coached. It's kind of who the Titans match up best against. Yeah. So it's an interesting one.
Yeah, and I mean, the Chargers defense, for whatever reason, is just falling flat this year.
I'm so traumatized from taking the Chargers because for the first 10 weeks, I took every Chargers minus 3 spread because I really believed in their roster. Yeah. And I got burned so many times. So now, perfect game for me to get burned on the Chargers. This is perfect.
And
I'm never on the right side of the Titans either.
Yeah, no. These two teams are unpredictable, but I am more confident in the Chargers. The Titans are frauds, not a good team. Justin Herbert, he's looked better in recent weeks, especially having that rib injury start off the year. So I'm going Chargers here. I'll take the minus 3.
I'm gonna go Chargers too. I can't resist.
Yeah. And Bengals, Buccaneers.
Lock of the week.
Bengals are only minus 3.5.
Yeah, lock of the week.
Yeah. I'm gonna place that bet right now. Anything else to say for that one?
I'm just gonna do a quick little check to see moving the Bengals down to minus 3, like how much it shifts the odds.
Yeah, and I mean the Bengals who
minus 3, minus 140. I would just do that and cross the crucial 3-point thing. I don't see how the Bucs are gonna be able to hang with the Bengals at all.
Defensively, offensively.
In Tampa, the Bengals are sneaky, looking like maybe they might come out of the AFC again.
No, I fully believe they will. I do think the Chargers just roll through Tampa Bay here.
And they got over the Browns' curse. The Bengals did.
The Browns' curse.
Burrow was 0-4 versus the Browns.
Right.
And, including a couple just outright spankings.
Fair enough. And then our Sunday night, or is that Sunday night or Monday night? No, that's Sunday. Where
the hell's Monday?
There it is. Yeah, I struggle with numbers. The Giants and the Commanders in Washington. The Commanders are minus 210, minus 4 on the spread. Both these teams need this win.
Huge game.
Yeah, both these
not a fun game with your eyes, but a very important game.
No, 100%. Both these teams
I hate watching both these teams.
But both these teams are in a playoff spot.
Yeah.
They're both holding a playoff
And one
spot
of them
right now.
won't hold on.
Nope.
And it's probably the loser of this game.
No, and it's probably the Giants, I think.
Who lose?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'm taking Giants on the spread, though. This should be a 3-point spread, and it's +4.
Yeah, that I'll take. I might take Washington money line too.
You just try to nail it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
like that.
Hit
I like
the
that.
full house there.
I'm with it. What do you think, Evan?
I think for that game, I'd also take the Commanders. I was on the train too, or the Giants, where they had that record. I don't know, they were like 7-2 or something. I said that there's no way that they're gonna be able to keep this up. There's no way. But the Commanders and the Lions, those two teams, I've been raving about the whole season, and I think both of those two teams are going to finish with a better record than the Giants. So I'll take the Commanders on that. But again, I'm with you on the spread. I think it'll probably be a close game. I don't think I could just take straight up Commanders because the Giants are a little funky at times too. So.
Yeah, the Giants started the year 7-2, and they're 7-5-1 right now.
Yeah.
So it's been a bit of a dark time in New Jersey.
Our next game might be the single most from when we saw it in the preseason to where it is now in terms of interest level.
Yeah.
The biggest downfall. I didn't phrase that well, but Packers, Rams on a Monday night. And it's I know the NFL was doing when they put the Rams Thursday Night Football Week 14, Monday Night Football Week 15. This sucks.
This sucks.
I'm taking them +7 though.
Any other NFL season, this is a great game. This is a must-watch Monday nighter, but no. Rams +7. I think I'm going to take the extra points here.
I take the extra points. The only thing is the Rams are done. They're cooked, right?
Yeah.
The Packers, if some stuff goes their way, it could get a little interesting for the 7 spot.
Is it going to be Jordan Love?
Well, you see like Commanders 7-5, Giants 7-5, right? Dallas is in as the first wildcard team. Seahawks 7-6, Lions 6-7, Green Bay 5-8. The Seahawks, Giants, Commanders, one of those teams losing. Seahawks could lose. Detroit could lose. Packers had a fairly easy game at home, so Packers have way more motivation.
Fair enough.
But they got a little bit of like the Bucks syndrome in my mind too.
A little bit, yeah.
But I would take the +7. I think maybe you try to hit this one too. Although the -325 really isn't that appealing. But
it really isn't. Like I do think the Packers are going to win this game. I just don't. I don't think that they'll be able to really separate, clear themselves apart from the pack from the Rams.
yeah.
But with that is our Week 15 preview, I believe.
What's your lock of the week, Jordan?
My lock.
You can't take Bengals.
I don't want to take yours. Yeah. Just looking through here, can I take Lions +0?
Who?
No. I'll go Eagles -9.
Okay.
I think they that's a 10-score game. Thank you for watching another episode of the Practice Squad. I'm Jordan LaRoche, joined by Henry Standage as always, and Evan Dorflor sitting behind the cameras there as our intern, social media extraordinaire, helping
Maestro.
a jack of all trades. But as always, want to thank you for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you give us a like, subscribe to us if you enjoy the content so you don't miss any more of us. If you're listening to us on Spotify, give us a follow. And if you enjoy it, give us that 5-star rating. But until next week, for Henry Standage, I'm Jordan LaRoche. I want to thank you guys, and we'll see you guys on the flip side.
Go Jets. Go Argentina.